Hi, my name is Sarah Root, and this is my Module 1, Mission, Vision, and Personal Statements for EDL 852. So like I said, my name is Sarah Root, and I'm originally from Merced, California, which is right in the middle of this state and is considered a small town by California standards with 75,000 people. Now I know differently, but at the time I thought it was small. It's also known as the gateway to Yosemite. However, Yosemite is still about an hour and 45 minutes away. After going away from college and going back, I grew up there my whole life, but I went away to college, came back. I taught at Merced Adult School, and I taught ELL and EL Civics, which is like acculturation assimilation for new immigrants and refugees from all over the world. At one point, I had students that represented 20 different languages in one classroom. So I worked with a lot of different adults from everywhere, and it was a wonderful experience. But then my husband and I decided to go on an adventure, and we moved to the Navajo Nation Reservation just outside of Holbrook, Arizona, which is in the middle of nowhere. And then I found out what a real small town is. And we weren't even in Holbrook. We were a few exits away and pretty close to the petrified forest. And we taught at a boarding school there for a year. And then decided to move on, and we moved to Aurora, Colorado. And we were there for 8 years, and during that time fell in love with special education and went and got my master's in special education. And the last 4 years I was a special education teacher at Hinckley High School in Aurora, and I was a staffing chair, which meant that I oversaw the students on IEPs in the building, which ranged from, we had quite the range. We had the full continuation of services there with over 300 students on IEPs. So, and then a few years ago, we moved again. This is the last time. I'm not moving again, I told my husband. And now we're in Overland Park, Kansas, or thereabouts. That's where I work. I work at Shawnee Mission North High School, which is in Overland Park. And I am, again, a special education teacher and the divisional coordinator for the special education department. A little bit more about me. This is my family over here. I have my husband, Ryan. We've been married for 14 years. And our daughter, Abby, is 8 now, although the picture there in the middle is more accurate to their ages. So Abby's 8 and Micah is 5. And we love going on family adventures. We love being outside. We love hiking the beach. We love camping. In my free time, my hobbies are reading, obviously traveling. I make macrame earrings and have my own small business. However, that is on hold right now while I go to school. And enjoy some craft therapy. And one of my favorite things to do here in Kansas City is to go to West Bottoms on First Fridays, and there's a picture there of Bella Patina, which is my favorite place in West Bottoms, my favorite shop. And oh, I forgot, and also In-N-Out Burger's the best. And we look forward to our trip to California every year so that we can get our fix. So, mission and vision statements. So a school mission statement is a goal shared by the entire school environment that focuses on the fundamental purpose of the school. So it's more all-encompassing, but with a goal. Where a school vision statement is inspirational and it encompasses the school's values and objectives, and is usually much shorter and concise. So what is the role and importance of school mission and vision? So the school mission, the role is that it provides a shared goal to focus direction for staff and students and the community for the moving forward. And then also it's important because it helps guide all the activities and decisions and everything that the school does moving forward. They can have something to look to guide those decisions. And the school vision, its role is it helps the school point where it's going in the next 3 to 5 years. And then it's important as well because it inspires stakeholders to be the best that they can be. At least that's the hope. So they work together because schools need both the vision and the mission statements to show their community what are their values and beliefs. So they work together in that way, providing a cohesive understanding for the community about who they are and where they're going and what they value. In terms of creating a mission and vision that is collaborative, which is incredibly important, first you have to get input from all the different stakeholders. And that includes those in the school, right? So we've got our staff members, not just teachers, that's our custodians and our food providers, our para-educators, administration, obviously, students, community members, but outside too. So community members, constituencies, just all those people who make up the school and the community. The next would be to then draft those statements with your school leadership team. At my school, it's a building leadership team, so it's a BLT. But then it would be to create that together, then present this draft to staff members and allow them to provide feedback to make sure that it does represent everyone. And then the last would be to then reveal that statement to all the stakeholders. So in order to develop an actionable mission and vision statements and making sure that they're focused on those values and priorities, there's a way to determine what those are. Because what my core values might be may not be what the school and community feel are the core values. So it's important to get that feedback. So first, we need to develop an instrument to collect the input. That's the first step. There were several options in the Georgia Leadership Institute that they suggested. One was a survey, which is more like a questionnaire, a structured interview, or host a meeting with the stakeholders. And I will say one of those most important pieces of developing that instrument is making sure that you are eliminating barriers. So if you are a school leader for a school where there are some language barriers, then those opportunities should be presented in multiple languages that represent your student body and your families and community. Step 2 is to review the reliability and validity. Is it reliable? Is it accessible to all? Is it valid? Are you getting the data that you need? Then distribute it to the stakeholders. That should be done through various methods. Online is great, paper copies, whatever you need to do, and then find a way to collect all that data. It needs to go to all the stakeholders to get the most accurate view of those core values. And the last one, step 4, is to review the data. So then pulling all that data together and determining what are those core values. And that will help guide towards developing a mission and vision that is actionable and actually represents the school and community. So characteristics of a well-written statement. So first, it has to pass the red face test. So that means that if we invite someone in that doesn't know our building and we present them with the mission or vision statement, can they find examples of that within the building as they go? And if they can't, then the red face would be the embarrassment of the administrator that was not seen in that walkthrough. So vision statements should be clear and concise. They are details about future expectations, and they are short. Mission statements, on the other hand, typically include the ages and characteristics of students, the curriculum philosophy and instructional approaches. There's also an overall goal, maybe even 2 for the school, but no more than that. And then also some special features of the school. Some of the common problems in mission vision statements. They're relatively meaningless. They don't mean anything to the community. They're broad statements. They don't say anything specific enough to really know what to do. They're ambiguous, meaning that they're unclear, or maybe even have a double meaning, or they use eduspeak, and it's a whole bunch of words that maybe your community members have no idea what they mean because it's only something you'd find in a leadership course or in a school education program. Also, they might lack integrity and don't have any like follow through with them. And another one is that they're not shared. And so no one even knows what they are. In my own personal critique, I was thinking through what I've learned and also my own personal experiences. So the last two high schools I worked at, one example is Hinckley and now North. So at Hinckley, what was really interesting is in the middle of my time there, our principal came out and he said, we have a new mission statement. And he presented it to the staff at a staff meeting. And there was quite an uproar because he definitely did not include the staff, or I don't think anybody else in that process. However, my principal did share it at every single meeting, and it was everywhere. It was all over the building. I could tell you, anyone could tell you what the mission of Hinckley was. There was no question, and to the point where I was creating a proposal for a new course, and the principal made us sit down and look, does it align with the mission? And so it definitely guided every decision there. Now in North, I'll be 100% honest, I have no idea what the mission statement was. I've never seen it. I had to go find it for this assignment. We also do not have staff meetings. Those were gotten rid of before I came, and so they 2.5 years ago. So we haven't had them even before COVID. We don't have staff meetings, and so that ability to like share that with us, I think kind of leaves when you don't actually have a staff meeting or time together. And it also is not in our staff updates weekly, so I literally had no idea where it was. So I think there's a lack of unity in that area, a lack of understanding like what is that goal and what are we all working towards, which makes my job as a special education teacher very difficult actually. I really liked this quote from Owens, and it says, but as powerful as words may be, they will remain only words unless they embody the actions of every stakeholder who belongs to the learning community, especially the students. And I think that's the walk, talk the talk, right? Like, it's not just about words. Words are just words. There has to be action behind them in order for them to unify a school body. And get buy-in. The other piece, not on the slide, I'm just going to share though, that I do think that there is some confusion about mission versus vision statements, just because I find that they are quite interchangeable, and that when I was researching and looking it up, it seemed like there was one or the other, but not necessarily both at schools. So at Shawnee Mission North High School, where I am currently employed, our mission statement, like I said, that I had to go look it up on the website because I had never seen it before. It wasn't even it was like in a paragraph within like the principal's message. It wasn't even separate. So, but here it is. It's our goal is to provide a world-class education that will develop lifelong learners and responsible, globally conscious citizens through high expectations for student achievement within a caring and inclusive school environment. And then our vision statement, I know this statement because we talk about this kind of, or this one's a little bit more around the building, but it's where tradition began, excellence continues. And that's because our school is coming up on its 100th anniversary next year. And that's actually a picture of the original Shawnee Mission North High School, which the bones of that are still, it is still our school building. But there's a lot more to it now. So how does it compare to our research? I'll be honest, the mission statement, it doesn't include student age, but neither did any of the examples by Owens when he went through the 72 different ones, or 79. They also didn't include the age for the secondary or high school students, so I didn't think that was that big of a deal. I do think it includes an instructional approach with high expectations. There's goals there, there's special features. So I do think that actually it does compare to the research quite well. The vision statement is concise. The values are tradition. The objective is excellence. Like, it's pretty in line with the research I saw. I think some vision statements were longer, but at the same time we have a longer mission statement, so I thought the vision statement was okay. Is there anything that would make it better? Well, the mission statement itself I think is fine. I just think that we need to know where it is. It probably should be posted somewhere, maybe discussed on some level with staff so that we know, like, well, I think that a lot of those statements are great, and I think that they are a wonderful goal, and I think that all of us would agree with that. It's just not discussed. And also then because of that, is it modeled? I don't know. Like, you know, I don't think because there isn't this common goal or this understanding, I would say that we probably could find examples where it's not being modeled quite easily. The vision statement is focused on tradition. And while I think tradition is important, I think that a lot of our students would not necessarily consider tradition being an important piece of our school and would probably consider this a little more old-fashioned or kind of stuck in the past. So I do think that there is some need for improvement in our vision statement, even though I think the adults probably get behind it, but I don't think the students do. In order to, and so to connect this to our students and adults in the building. So educational success. Our mission statement does talk about our students being world-class, meaning top of the line, lifelong learners. This is for everyone, that they would continue to learn beyond high school, globally conscious, aware of everything that's going on around us, and having high expectations. That's for the teachers as well, to know that we all have high expectations for our students. We're not going to lower our standards for them. And also focused on the well-being of our students and adults in the building, being that we are responsible. So I think that our well-being and responsibility are tied in terms of like behavior. Our students, we want them to be responsible and have an expectation for how they are to engage and interact with each other. And it's also, responsibility is another one of those transferable skills past high school that, especially nowadays, I think is really important to be responsible. We care. We're a caring community. That's part of that well-being piece. Inclusive, we include everyone in everything. No one is excluded, including our special education students who are severely impacted. And achievement. And that doesn't necessarily mean like that they're achieving at a high level, but achievement for whatever they need to be successful in life, to prepare for life after high school. So standard correlation, this was NELP Standard 1, which is all about mission, vision, and improvement, which aligned to this assignment. Relevancy, it's relevant today as I am in this course. And some reflection moving forward as a future leader. And here are my references. Thank you so much for watching. I hope, looking forward to meeting everyone. Thanks.